Credo Voices, the podcast where we bring you inspiring stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. I'm your host, Awele Okibo, the CEO of Credo Advisory.
Education is often called the great equalizer, yet for millions of girls, the classroom remains out of reach, blocked by systemic barriers and deeply ingrained gender stereotypes. But what happens when young women are given the tools, mentorship, and vocational skills to completely rewrite their futures? On this episode of Credo Voices, we travel to Ghana to meet Miriam Suttah, a passionate legal advocate and founder of the Feminine Future Foundation. Miriam dedicates her life to empowering underprivileged girls, creating safe spaces where guidance meets practical, hands-on skills training. Join us as Miriam shares her journey from the courtroom to the community, exploring how she bridges the gap between legal advocacy and grassroots empowerment. We discuss the realities of breaking traditional gender roles, the vital importance of mentorship, and how investing in a single girl can transform an entire generation.
Welcome to season 3. And today I have Miriam Suttah. Miriam, you're our first guest, and I'm really excited to kick off the new season with you so we can hear about the amazing work that you're doing. Can you please introduce yourself to our Credo Voices community?
Hello, my name is Miriam Suttah. I am the founder of the Feminine Future Foundation based in Ghana, and I'm also a law student. So that's what I do.
Excellent. Now, Miriam, before we begin this conversation, I must say that you are a Vital Voices scholar like me. In fact, that's how we found you. The Vital Voices, for our listeners who are unaware of the work they're doing, they have a Vital Voices visionary program done in partnership with Estee Lauder's Emerging Leaders Fund. And this fund invests in women like myself, like Miriam, who are challenging and just trying to redefine leadership in order to uplift their communities. So, Miriam, congratulations on your selection as a Vital Voice. And let's hear, how have you been uplifting your community? Tell me what inspired you to start Feminine Future Foundation.
Thank you so much, Awele. Congratulations to you too. I see what you're doing. You're doing amazing things. So, generally, I have always been very passionate about girls and education. So, growing up, anytime I see girls that are not in school, I always used to ask them, why aren't you in school? Things like that. And when I got to the age where around 11, 12, when I could go to the market with my mother, it became even worse because then I came to find out about head porters, which are called kayaye in Ghana. These are young girls, sometimes as young as 11. Some are even in their 50s. Some are women, some are girls. And then they have traveled from their villages all the way to the capital city of Ghana, Accra, with the hope of making it, right? Finding greener pastures. And these girls are living under the harshest of living conditions. Some of them have nowhere to sleep. They sleep in front of shops. They sleep in very terrible conditions. It opens them up to sexual exploitation, sexual harassment, all sorts of things. So it made me very sad. And so I always wanted to do something to help these girls. How can we put these girls in school? And for the girls that are on the streets, how can we do something for girls' education so that we do not have girls on the streets? We do not have these living conditions because I found them unfair. And then so over the time, I was always thinking, like, how can I solve this problem? How can I solve this problem?
And Miriam, not to interrupt you, but what are they called, these young girls? What are they called?
In Ghana, kayaye.
Kayaye. And just for our audience, kayaye, these are girls, mostly girls and even sometimes women who leave their communities and they're basically trying to find opportunities in the cities, or where? Just if you can give us a little bit more context around their circumstances.
So I have interacted with a lot of them, and some of them most of them are from the northern part of Ghana, and they come to Accra to see greener pastures. So one of them that I spoke to, she was 15 and she was being forced into an early marriage, and she didn't want that. And then so she left and then came to Accra. One of my girls also is called Ida. She but she did very well in her WASI, and then she wanted to go to the university, but her parents do not have the funds. And then so she had come to Accra to do this head porting to get money to finance herself.
I'm so sorry, Miriam, just so I can carry our audience along. So tell me again, what is head porting?
So when you buy things from the market, these are people that carry it for you to
In
your
its Yeah.
cars. Yes, to your cars, to wherever they are going. They just have a basin that they put the things in on their head and
Yes.
then just follow you through the market with it.
So we
Yeah.
have that in Nigeria as well, and in a lot of different countries. So even more description is when you enter a market, they're referred to in different terms, but they usually have either wheelbarrows or trays or buckets that they carry on their head, and they basically follow you around. They're your shopping cart, so to speak, where you're putting all your purchases in a bucket, and they carry in the hot sun or rain, they're carrying these things, and then at the end of your shopping experience, you will now give them some money at your own discretion. I know some markets have like a fixed rate, but I would imagine that sometimes it's often just, they're given a tip. Please continue, Miriam.
And then so that's how the Feminine Future was born. And how I got the name is quite funny. So I remember around the time I was in senior high school, so I was about 17, and I saw somebody with a shirt that read, "The future is female." And I thought about it that's a nice that's
Yeah.
a, that's a nice description. But I
But
said
isn't it, Miriam, isn't it?
it's perfect. So I thought, oh, if I was to get a shirt like that, I'll like one, but I'll write mine as "The future is feminine." And I thought to myself, oh, the feminine future, that would be a nice name for my foundation. And then so at 17, the feminine future, the name was coined.
I love that. I love that. So you've kind of given us your why you started it. I mean, it's my own experience just growing up in Nigeria, the plight of many, just children in general, but particularly the girl child. And it's so inspiring hearing that even at such a young age, yourself at 17, my goodness, you started this organization. So can you tell us a little bit about what kind of work are you doing with the foundation? What does Feminine Future do for these girls?
The feminine future provides mentorship, empowerment, and then help for these girls mainly. So for the mentorship part, we go to schools, we speak to young girls, especially for public schools in underprivileged communities. We go to, and I believe that representation matters a lot. And so you see, most of these girls, they want to be lawyers, they want to be doctors, they want to do great things, but they do not exactly see an example of that in their communities. And so for the Feminine Future group, right, for our membership, we are made of mainly young people. We are 21, 22, 23-year olds at the moment. And we have a lot of them in law school, in university, in medical school. And so we go to these girls, we speak to them, we let them know that they can do anything. At the Feminine Future, one thing that we always say is no dream too big and no girl too small. And then so we let them know that every single thing that they dream of is possible, and they should not be limited by their circumstances or their gender.
Hi everyone, before we get back to Miriam, let's take a moment to spotlight the work behind her story. The Feminine Future Foundation is built on a simple but powerful belief. Every girl deserves the opportunity to shape her own future. Through its work, the foundation is creating pathways to opportunity for young women who have too often been left behind. Take a moment after this episode to explore some of their programs, follow their work, and find out how you can support what they are building. You can visit them at Feminine Future Foundation on Instagram or connect with Miriam via the link in the caption. Now back to the conversation.
So your fellow feminine future colleagues, are they volunteers? Do you pay them? Can you give us a little bit more around your team and how you select the communities you go into? If I was a fly on the wall, what would I observe in the average day of you and your team?
We are all volunteers. I am the chief volunteer yes, because we are all students. There's no funding, there's nothing. I cannot pay anybody. And for the work that they are doing it with so much passion that I cannot pay them even if I wanted to. The work that they are doing is immeasurable. And then so we look at the communities that we think that the girls should like be spoken to. Let me take Nigeria, for instance. So a child in a school in Lagos is not the same as a child in a school in a smaller city or a village or something like that. Yes. And even with Lagos, it's very big. And so there are parts of it, just as Accra, there are parts of Accra where definitely, even though they are still living in the big city, those parts of the city still lack certain resources. And then so we go to mainly public schools, mainly public schools. We speak to the girls, we provide them with learning materials, with pens, with books, because there are some of these students that even though they are going to school, they don't have pens, they don't have books. And how are you going to learn without a pen, without a book, with tattered clothes, with torn shoes? How exactly are you able to do that? So the person is going to school all right, but the person is not going. And then so we do our best to ensure that they are able to learn. They're not just going to school, but they are able to learn. We provide them with what they need to actually learn in school.
Ah, Miriam, that is incredible. So you focus on the public schools, and how do you actually reach out to the schools? And do you have challenges in getting them to agree to let you come? Like, can you just walk us through how you select the schools and when you meet with them, what are some of the challenges and also opportunities? Are they happy for you guys to come regularly? Are they cautious around having outsiders come into the school to talk to the children? Please share more.
Okay, so for the schools, we all live in different. We are a group of about 12, and then so we all live in different parts of Accra, and then so everybody's community, in everybody's city, they see like a school
Okay.
that they feel like these students need help. And then so they tell us, oh, can we go here? Can we visit these people? And
Yeah.
then so we do that. That's how we actually choose the schools. And we also go to other communities. Like it's a city, right? It's
No.
at one place. So we just do that. And then for the schools, some of them are receptive, but some of them not at all. I remember we went somewhere last year. I went to a school and we wanted to mentor the students before they write their BEC. That's like their final exam before they finish their junior high school. And it was a class of 38, and they had 25 boys and 13 girls. And I spoke to the headmistress. So we visit the schools, we go with a letter, we send the letter, and then we speak to the headmistress, the headmaster, the principal, whoever is in charge, and we tell them, can we come on so and so date, or you
Yeah.
can give us a date that fits for you, and then we will come in and talk to the students. And she told me that everybody's talking about girl child, girl child. What is special about the girl child? I
This
said,
is a
oh,
woman telling you.
this is a woman telling me. And I was very surprised that this is coming from a woman. Can you imagine? And I was thinking that you only have 13 girls in a class of 38. That's where the problem begins. And so you should even be looking for more girls.
Oh,
So
girl.
yeah, so I spoke to her, I explained the whole thing to her. It was me and three of my friends, so we were four. We explained the whole thing to her, and then she said, okay, no problem. I'll contact you and let you know when you can come. It's been more than a year. She never contacted us, never got back. And then so we just had to take a queue. Yeah, very sad.
Wow. But
Mm.
Miriam, there's a video that I saw that you have posted you about 9 months ago. You and your incredible volunteers visited. Okay, so I'm going to butcher this name, but I am a brave woman. You visited the Ledzo Kuku Krokwo Municipal Cluster of Schools in Techi.
And say she, yes, yes, let me put this thing.
They have all these smiles on their faces. and you're getting the girls to chant, I can do great things. I can do great things. Miriam, just watching that video, it was just so touching. It was really touching. Just you could tell that, I mean, you were just breathing hope and determination into these girls. Can you tell me, first of all, tell me specifically around the work at this particular school, and then what was it like at that moment for you? Just hearing those girls chanting and just looking at you in such admiration.
So I think that particular visit was so touching to me because these were girls who they live in Teshi, and Teshi is a very clustered community. So some of these girls, even as young as they were, some of them were 10, 11, 12. They told me that when they close from school, they go and sell with their mothers. And up to now, I still have some of them calling me even to help with homework because their parents are
Whoa. Oh,
their parents are
wow.
illiterate. And then so it was so amazing to listen to these girls say, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a military woman, I want to be a nurse. These girls have such big dreams. So amazing. It's so inspiring. And I told them that I believe each and every single one of them will become whatever that they hope to become. I told them that in 10, 15 years, I will meet them and they will tell me, Miriam, you told me years ago that I can do great things, and I am indeed doing great things. So I ensure that for every school that we visit, we let the girls know that you can do great things, even from a small place. It doesn't matter where you are. You should not be limited by your circumstances. You are bigger than your circumstances. And so we let them know that even though you are small, you can do great things. And then, so yes, that's it.
So what I'm hearing is you visit these schools, you're able to really be motivational, you provide them with, just some basic educational tools, pens, paper, pencils. So beyond that, can you share a little bit more on the programs that you're able to do? So for instance, you talked about this school in Techi. Do you go back frequently, or is it just a one-time, opportunity to really try and help kind of mentor them, and then you go to another school? Can you give us a little bit more of a picture around the programming? You mentioned they call you sometimes for homework. So when you have that first point of contact, is there follow up, or do you guys have additional sessions where you go back, or you just kind of engage with the parents even? Just give us a little bit more color around the programming.
So for most of the schools that we have visited so far, we have only visited them once. But at the moment, we are trying to, for the schools that we went to, that we realized that the schools need more than, like they need more help. We have decided that for those schools, we would incorporate certain initiatives for them. Like this Lejokuku Krowo cluster of schools, we are planning to have a rent a book. So we want to name the program Reading a Lost Art because we have realized that this is
Miriam,
we
yeah.
are in, we are in a yes, we are in a dispensation where most of the students, the children, when they come home from school, the first thing they pick is a phone.
Yes.
Most children, they have lost the art of reading.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that you guys are doing that, but please continue.
Yeah, when we were younger, I mean, you'd want to finish the book, see what it says, see how it ends before you even eat your food. But now children of today don't want to read, and then so we decided to name the initiative "Reading the Lost Art," where we give books, we donate books to the school where the girls can borrow a book from the school, read it, ensure that they summarize the story to the teacher to ensure that they learned something from the book, and then return the book. And we believe that this is not just helping them to read. Reading builds your vocabulary, it builds your confidence, right? And then this is not just reading, it is also accountability. Borrowing the book, reading it, knowing what the book says, learning something from the book, and returning it. And then so we believe that we are teaching these girls to not just read, but to be accountable. And then so for that school, we want to do the Reading the Lost Arts program. So we are still negotiating with the school. And we believe that this will be the first of many. We would initiate that in many schools. And then for the schools that lack libraries, books, all of that, we would do our best to, speak with agencies, partnerships, all of that, and then get libraries for that.
This is all volunteer driven.
Yeah.
Well, how do you get the books? Who are you talking to as far as partnerships? And how are you able to, get those books to the schools? And then from then, do you leave them with the school? And then, how do you also determine the need of the school, the types of books? So I'd be really curious to know how you're going to try and develop and implement this program further. It's a fantastic idea.
So for all of that, we'll have to speak to the school, the kind of books they need and all of that. We'll have to speak to the school. And for most of the programs that we run at the moment, they are self-funded. And then so we fund it ourselves, our parents, family, friends, people donate
Oh.
to us. And then so that is how we are going to be funding the initiative. So that's why we'll do it one school at a time so that it will not be overwhelming. Yes.
So about how many schools have you visited so far? Do you know?
Yes, please. So far, we've done 13.
Wow. And this is just around the Accra area. Am I correct?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes,
Okay.
please. In Accra. Yes.
Okay. So with these 13 schools, Miriam, tell me about that particular girl that you met who just really touched you and connected with you, whether it's her story or the way she engaged with you. What was she like? How do you feel that meeting changed her? I would love to hear more about these girls. And so we can just pick one particular girl and just tell us a little bit more about her.
So we have a girl called Emanuela, right? And I met Emanuela in 2023 when I visited the Kote School Complex in Kote in Kumasi, right? And that is in Ashanti region because I went to school in Kumasi. So I met Emanuela in Kumasi. And when I met Emanuela, she said she wanted to attend Wesley Girls, which was the SHS that I attended. And she was in JHS2, and Emanuela was not very English proficient, but she had a willingness to learn. And I think that is really what matters, the determination. And then so I started helping her with English. And obviously, if you're a law student, you know how to speak English, you know how to write, you're used to the reading. And then so and then so Emanuela was like my personal project. And then so I kept helping her with the learning, with the writing, with the learning, with the writing. And then so she wrote BEC this year. That's like her final JHS exam, like for the end of the junior high school to continue to her second cycle school. And then she got a grade B, like grade 2 in English. And I think that is amazing. Obviously, I would have loved her to get a 1.
Someone who was already having challenge with English.
Exactly. Exactly. So
That's
imagine you cannot really speak English. How are you going to write it? But then
wow.
she did very well. She did very well. And then so at the moment we are trying to mobilize resources to help her with going to SHS, like helping her to finance her, furthering her education.
Oh,
They,
wow. So you talked about the language barrier, and a lot of people don't realize in a lot of countries, while in Ghana, English is the official language. It's official,
yeah,
but it does not mean that everyone actually is literate, is speaks it or can
no.
read it. So it's you've touched upon something that's so important that it's a
Yeah.
major barrier for a lot of girls. Can you share what other barriers do you feel these girls are having? And, when you go to this school, what's the recurring information that keeps coming back up on why these girls are not thriving?
I think one of the very glaring challenges is poverty, right? A lot of these girls come from very, you know, low income homes. And
Yes.
then so because of that, it's very hard. I mean, when they feel very limited by their background, and even if their parents want to help them, the resources to do so are not available. I think that's one of the most glaring challenges, and unfortunately, we are also in no position to do a lot. So we only do as much as we can, genuinely.
So, Miriam, this is actually a perfect segue. If someone is listening, that's in, in France, and they want to help you and your volunteers, can you tell us how can people support you? How can people get involved with your foundation?
So please, people can donate to us. Please donate to us. Please partner with us. In case so we also have a vocational training program. So in case you know how to do something, you said, "Oh, Miriam, I know how to sew. I can teach these girls, even if it's online." Oh, Miriam, I want to partner. Please partner with us, donate to us, get in contact with us, and volunteers. We need as many volunteers as possible.
Okay.
The workload is huge, and we cannot do it all on our own.
Oh, thank you. And that's so important. We'll definitely market your plea, and when we launch this episode, we'll certainly share the information of how people can support you and hopefully partner. Now, Miriam, if a young girl is listening to this, what can you tell her when she's feeling so discouraged, when she doesn't feel empowered? Can you just tell her what she can do for herself and just share a message of encouragement if you can?
So what I want to tell her is, dear dreamer who never closes her eyes, gender does not determine opportunity. Gender is not a limitation. Gender or whatever situation that you're facing is only a hitch, and you definitely get around it. So you are capable, you are worthy, you are perfect. The opportunities are available for you. The road is clear. You are never too small for whatever you dream to do. So dream on.
Oh, Miriam, I am so humbled by what you just said and what you're doing. And I have goosebumps right now. There's something about your voice. There's something about the words that you're able to share that's really is motivational. And I can only imagine. No wonder those girls in that video were so happy and so pumped up. You're a real inspiration, Miriam. Thank you. Now, before we close out, it's been such a pleasure talking with you. But we have something that we call, it's like a rapid fire questions where we ask guests questions, and please just answer as quickly and as authentically as possible. Yeah? Are you ready?
Yes, please, I'm ready.
Okay. What's your favorite way to unwind after a busy, hectic day?
Movies and ice cream.
Great. So if you could meet one woman leader, past or present, who would it be?
Hmm. I think it would be Chimamanda Ngozi
Oh my.
Adichie.
I actually just saw her 2 weeks ago at a festival. Oh my goodness. She's the
Oh, really? You have to make this happen for me.
She is incredible, and definitely I'll see what we can do. Yes.
Okay.
She's a real inspiration, and she'd be great actually for your reading program as well, seeing that she's such a prolific writer. Okay, two more. What's more challenging, fundraising or finding volunteers?
Fundraising.
And the last one is dream city to host a feminine future event.
Hmm. Dream city to host a feminine future event. I think maybe Washington.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yes, last year I saw the Vital Voices side event for the United Nations General Assembly. And I saw quite a lot of people. I see a lot of those events, and I see so many people come together in one space, so many people that care about gender.
Yes,
and
yes.
it's amazing to watch.
I'm
Mm.
very involved with Vital Voices. I actually just attended one of their events in New York 2 days
Oh,
ago, and I can completely agree that sharing space with women that are partnering with a shared purpose, it's very inspirational. You get to, network, you get to, share ideas, and it leaves you feeling very humbled and also you leave feeling empowered because this road can be very lonely as a founder, as an entrepreneur, as someone that's trying to drive change. So yes, let's see. Hopefully, you'll be able to certainly make it to Washington, D.C. Yeah. Miriam, thank you for your time. Thank you for all that you're doing. This is just first of many. We will certainly look to having you back on so we can hear more and you can share even more. Yeah.
thank you so much, Awele, for having me. Thank you so
Oh,
much
you're
for
very
everything.
welcome. Take care and stay the course. This is good work that you're doing. And my best to all of those volunteers. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Throughout this conversation, Miriam Suttah challenged us to think differently about opportunity, not as something that should be reserved for a fortunate few, but as something every young person deserves access to. Her work is a reminder that lasting change often begins with a simple act, believing in someone's potential before they fully see it themselves. As we close this episode, we're left with an important question. What becomes possible when every girl is given the chance to reach her full potential? Thank you for joining us on Credo Voices. Until next time, let's continue listening, learning, and championing the people creating change where it matters most.
Thank you for listening. Until next time, stay curious and keep believing in the power of your voice. This is Awele Okibo, signing off for Credo Voices.